mangoes. When do you think mango season is going to start this year and people could start getting it either from your site or come out to your farm?
So actually, I've already sold some mangoes this year, if you can believe that.
Hello, everybody. Here we are at Fruitful Trees, and check this out. It is the end of January, and here's two mangoes that are ripe. These are Edward mangoes, and I was just with Alex at Tropical Acres Farms. I'm gonna put him on the clip right now. He's gonna explain why we get mangoes here in the wintertime. So here he goes.
Here in my hand is a mango that was picked a couple days ago. I was out picking mangoes today. This is actually off-season fruit that occurred on a couple of our Edward trees, but I had enough extra that I sold some to some local customers.
All right, here we are at Tropical Acres Farms. There's Alex with some mangoes in his hand, and it was just freezing outside in his mangoes. What's up with that?
Yeah, well, we had a few trees that threw bloom in September, probably just from the change in photo period. There was no temperature stimulus to cause these trees to flower. But anyway, our Edward trees flower pretty easily, fortunately, and it's not unusual for us to get fruit in spring. Fruit in winter is much more unusual, though. So anyway, we've been harvesting some of these for the last couple of weeks, and we've actually sold a few of them locally. So we have some ripe ones here that I took down in the last couple
What
of
variety
days.
is that?
It's just all Edward, except maybe one rosy gold in here somewhere. I have some off-season rosy golds too.
Now, has this year been different than any other year, or they always come off season like this?
I've had, I think 2 years ago, we had some that were ripening in December and January. These are going to carry into February, obviously. So I can't recall a time that we've had this many this time of year. And I'm not saying we have tons of them. We don't. It was really one tree in particular that had a pretty decent sized crop, and the others just had a small smattering of fruit. But it's exciting nonetheless. We've been trying them. They're not as good as the Edwards that come in like April, May, June. But they're still pretty decent, especially for something this time of year. So I've been getting good feedback from the people that I've been selling them to and whatnot. So.
All right. Any available on the site or no? Just
no availability on the website. We're not really promoting it too much that we have them, just because we don't have very many. So a few local sales only. I'm not shipping any of them. You know, we're trying to enjoy some of them ourselves too, and you know, it's not a huge amount.
You do sell the Edward mango trees here, right?
We do. I don't know how many we have in stock. We're gonna have to draft more, I'm sure.
Okay.
But this is one of the cool things about Edward is that it flowers very easily, and it does real well in this coastal zone that we're in, really well. So we're grateful to have a lot of Edward trees here. They're really a standard bearer for us, very consistent. We get fruit from every year. The quality is always really high.
And those trees have been here since the farm has been here like many years ago.
They were planted by David Sturrock and his family back in the 1950s. A lot of them were transplanted to this farm from the Jupiter area. And they're pretty old. They're 70-something years old at this point, and they're still...
But I really wouldn't expect to have a lot of fruit until April, and that's assuming we don't get major damage from this coming cold front. Probably sometime in April, we'll start selling the fruit locally. When we start getting enough volume, we'll start shipping fruit too. I would fully expect that a lot of trees won't flower until next month after this cold is finished, and then that fruit will be coming in late May, June, July, August. But we'll have a significant spring crop. We'll have a decent amount of fruit in April and May, and we'll be selling that fruit for sure. So you'll have to pay attention to our website, subscribe to our website. We'll send an email out to everybody. We'll probably post on our Instagram and Facebook and stuff too when we start selling fruit. I expect the demand is going to be very high. It just keeps going up every year. So just pay attention. We'll have fruit at some point.
All right, everybody, there he was. Thank you so much, Alex. I'm about to taste these Edward mangoes. We did this last year as well. It was a little later, but it's becoming a tradition, though. The first mango for 2022. And like Alex said, it's not going to taste as good as it will during this summer, but it's pretty good now. Perfectly ripe. And mango season is here. Alex's website is below the video. He doesn't have these for sale right now, but he will once they're in season. One question is, any new varieties for this season? Give us ideas what you have available at your grove in terms of new varieties.
Oh, there's going to be, well, I hope there's going to be new varieties. We certainly have added new varieties over the last several years, and there's stuff that hasn't fruited for us yet that is big enough to. There's one that I got there's a couple that we got from David Berg years ago that have never fruited for us, and they've been in the ground for a long time, like JB2 and the so-called stringless Manga Blanca. Dashiri's never fruited for us. It's certainly big enough. Nancy is a variety I got from Gary Zill. Ambrosia, Dolores. Those are some Gary Zill hybrids that still have not fruited for us yet. They're certainly large enough to, so if they flower, we'll have the fruit available to sell to the general public. There's I think it's an Indian one called Se Pasala that hasn't fruited for us yet that I would love to try. Gilas has never fruited for us. And it's big enough to fruit. We got some fruit from our Sindri mango last year, which was encouraging, but it was only like 5 mangoes. I'd love to get a full crop from that tree, which is a Pakistani mango that's hard to fruit in Florida. So who knows if those will fruit. Borsha is big enough to fruit for us now. There's a bunch of others, trust me, a bunch that we've grafted over the last few years. A few of them that we just recently added to our list on our website, so you can see what some of those are. Some of them were grafted too recently to expect fruit from this year, but maybe the next year. Every year there's always stuff that fruits for the first time, so it's exciting, and there will be some new names that appear during the course of the season for sure. We probably won't have large quantities of them, but so there'll be some neat stuff.
And a whole bunch of other mangoes. He has mango trees, just about every variety you could think of. He has descriptions on his website. During the season, he sells budwoods, he sells trees. Most important, he sells the actual mangoes when they're available. So click on the link and start browsing around now. And definitely, when the time comes, you want to order a box of different variety mangoes from Alex's website. And the link will be below the video. So thank you. I'm going to finish these mangoes and have a great day. And put your questions below and keep growing.